Hud and Jake, you guys get to play another week of high school football. After an incredible game down in El Paso, I'm going to say incredible for you offensive guys. Defensive guys, that was probably a little bit nerve-wracking. And now you head into kind of the belly of the beast, taking on South Lake Carroll in the area round. Let's start with last week. Hud, I say that half jokingly because you guys came up with plays, especially in the second half when you had to. What was that like to be out there in that game? That was even more of a shootout than you guys are used to. What was it like to be out there?
We just kind of fell apart at times, but we had 10 turnovers, including 4 down stops, so we stopped them a bunch of times. Offense was scoring quick, so we were just fatigued sometimes. It was hard to run out there sometimes.
Well, like you said, you fell apart. I don't know if falling apart is the right term, just them being a really good offense.
Yeah.
But you guys, if you fell apart, you picked up the pieces pretty well on a regular basis. How much does that kind of fit into your MO this season?
I mean, we've been in some battles this year. We've been in wars, so kind of used to just scrapping. We're scrappy guys, so we make it happen.
Jake, I talked to Hud Hutchison after the game, and one of the questions I asked him is there ever a time when that offense takes the field when you don't feel like you're going to put points on the board? And you kind of got the same reaction from you.
Yes, sir.
What is it about this offense that makes you guys so confident with the guys you've got this season?
Well, our team has just been bonding ever since last year, and we've kind of, as we play together, we grow in our confidence and we grow in our abilities, and we know every day we're working on our craft, so we expect to do good in our craft and expect to win and expect to score every drive.
And one reason I wanted to talk to an offensive lineman for this week's video was you guys seem like you're always a key, but against a team like South Lake Carroll where you have to stay on the field and have to put up points, what is the kind of the what's on you guys' shoulders this week?
Well, we kind of just have to stick to our job, kind of, we always go back to the basics. We always have to look at our technique, always look at our footwork and our hands and everything, and we have to make sure we get the basics down, and then we have to really make sure we understand all these stunts and how, especially a team like South Lake with all their complex stunts with corners and everything, we have to make sure we know how to prepare ourselves for it and how to mentally be prepared as well.
With your offense, you don't want to change a whole bunch because you guys have been so good. Are there any wrinkles or anything that you have to kind of get ready for you guys to execute well because of the need to stay on the field and put points on the board as much as possible?
Well, there's always little small things that you work out in the game, and some things may not always play out the way you want to, but you always end up learning from it and you end up fixing it and getting better, even if it's heat of the moment type of deal.
And HUD, for you guys, obviously you go back and you look at what happened against South Lake last year. You guys couldn't get them off the field. I think, did they score 10 straight times?
Something like that.
It was a lot, I know. I wasn't there, so I didn't get to witness it. As I was kind of tracking it, though, I was thinking that's a pretty good offense if they can do that over and over again. What are the keys? What are the challenges against them to not let them gain that kind of momentum?
Really just do our job. I mean, we got to get turnovers and do our job. If we get turnovers, change the momentum. I mean, that would be huge. Get the ball back to our offense. Get HUD the ball in his hands. So that's the main goal.
What do you recall about what they did so well last year?
They were just very fundamental. I mean, they did their job at right place, right time. Had a great running back. I think he's at Air Force now. So.
When I looked at their stats, the first thing that popped into my mind is these look like Frenship stats, offensive stats.
Mm-hmm.
They're just because they maybe run the ball a little bit more, but the numbers are almost what they average is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think about that? Do you think about go out there and think these guys have been really good, or do you just go out and try to match up with that guy play by play and try to make something happen, like you said?
Definitely play by play. We can't look at the past and how good they've been in the past. We got to worry about right now and just winning this play right now.
Now, I talked to the two guys last week about you Frenship being a little bit of an underdog going on the road to El Paso. I think it's fair to say you guys are your little old Frenship this week, which is weird to say because out here you're big old Frenship. But Jake, how do you approach this now as an underdog against one of the premier programs in the state? How challenging is this, and how fun is it to get ready for it?
Well, it's pretty fun. It's exciting to know you're going to face one of the best teams in the state, and you get a chance to prove yourself and prove your team and prove what you're capable of. And you just take it one step at a time, and you enter it with confidence but you don't necessarily have to psych yourself out just because of the brand of Southlake.
And Hud, I mentioned before I turned this on that Coach and I have talked about this, seeing South Lake Carroll last year, kind of understanding the challenge that you guys have. How different is that now, knowing you guys got to look at them last year? Now you kind of know this is what we have to do to find a way to beat them.
It helps out definitely because we played them before. Coaches have a game plan. We're gonna try to stick to the game plan and learn from last year.